This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete Haynes online manual at haynes.com.
Remove the cover where fitted, then using the special anti-theft wheel bolt adapter where necessary, slacken each of the wheel bolts half a turn. Chock the front wheels. Position the trolley jack head under the rear jacking point and raise the rear of the vehicle until the wheels are clear of the ground. Support the vehicle with axle stands placed each side under the reinforced section of the sill. Note the small pieces of wood on the axle stands to prevent damage to the sills. Lower the vehicle onto the axle stands. Fully unscrew the retaining bolts and remove the road wheel. Release the brake pad wear sensor wiring from the retaining clips and disconnect the wiring plug. Carefully unclip the retaining spring from the side of the brake caliper. Prise out the plastic caps, then unscrew the two guide pin bolts using an Allen key or bit. Slide the caliper from place and recover the outer brake pad. Pull the inner brake pad from the caliper piston along with the sensor and wiring loom. Pull the sensor and retaining clip from the pad. Measure the thickness of the brake pad friction material. If it is less than the minimum specified, renew all 4 pads. If new pads are to be fitted, prevent the flow of brake fluid using a clamp on a flexible rubber hose. Then attach a hose and receptacle to the bleed screw on the caliper. In order to accommodate the new pads, the caliper piston must be fully pushed back into the caliper using a retraction tool or similar. Open the bleed screw and push the piston back. Fluid will flow into the receptacle. Just before the piston is pushed fully back, close the bleed screw. Remove the retraction tool along with the receptacle and hose clamp. Check that the guide pins are a light sliding fit in the caliper body bushers with little signs of play. Carefully clean the pad locations in the caliper body mounting bracket. Fit the retaining clip to the pad wear sensor, then press it into the groove in the inner pad. Apply a thin smear of high temperature anti-seize grease to the inner pad backing plate where it contacts with the mounting bracket and caliper. Feed the pad wear sensor wiring through the aperture in the caliper, then press the inner pad clip into the piston. Apply a thin smear of high temperature anti-seize grease to the outer pad backing plate where it contacts with the mounting bracket and caliper. Then fit the pad to the bracket, ensuring the friction material is against the disc face. Slide the caliper into place, then refit the guide pin bolts and tighten them to the specified torque. Refit the plastic caps to the guide pin locations. Maneuver the retaining spring into place on the side of the caliper. Secure the pad sensor wiring with the various clips along its length, then reconnect the wiring plug. Repeatedly depress the brake pedal to bring the pads fully into contact with the disc. Locate the road wheel over the hub, then refit the retaining bolts and lightly tighten them. Raise the vehicle slightly using the trolley jack, then remove the axle stand from each side. Lower the vehicle to the ground. Tighten the road wheel bolts to the specific torque. Don't forget to remove the special anti-theft bolt adapter and refit the cover. Check the brake fluid level. Open the driver's door and pull the bonnet release lever. Reach under the bonnet, depress the safety catch and lift the bonnet. The brake fluid reservoir is located under a panel at the rear of the engine compartment. Unclip the plastic scuttle panel by pressing back the 2 tabs at the front. The fluid level should be between maximum and minimum level marks on the filler neck and should never fall below the minimum level. If topping up is necessary, wipe the area around the filler cap with a clean rag, then unscrew the cap. Carefully add fluid, avoiding spilling it on surrounding paintwork. Use only DOT4 hydraulic fluid. Mixing different types of fluid can cause damage to the system and/or a loss of braking effectiveness. After filling to the correct level, refit the cap securely and wipe off any spilt fluid. Turn the ignition key to position 1 and leave it there for at least 30 seconds without starting the engine. This should clear the brake pad wear warning fault stored in the ECM and extinguish the brake pad wear warning light in the instrument cluster. Close the bonnet firmly and check it's secure.